Hey, everybody, and welcome. I came in a couple of minutes early in case some of you come in a couple of minutes early, and I'll introduce the topic today, which is about how people who have what you call clients as opposed to customers. I'll explain what that means in a minute. A way of structuring your business to help alleviate what we call a roller coaster income. So that means income going up and down and up and down and up and down, having something a little bit more even and predictable. So people who have clients are people who offer services. Now you might not think of it this way. But that's the traditional way that you sell products to customers and you sell services to clients. And so the people who have clients could be coaches, they could be consultants, they could be healthcare practitioners, they could be financial advisors, anyone who provides a service to people as opposed to a product. So, as a store, a retail store, we know they have customers. You wouldn't think of them having clients. Uh, Now, somebody like a chiropractor might think of maybe they say their patients. I don't know, but they might use the word customers or clients. So the words are not always used exactly in that way, but that's how I'm using it. So the problem that some people experience, I'm going to use an example of a consultant. And so let's say this consultant helps small businesses do Facebook ads, for example. Uh, and they might look at their business and then help them to design the Facebook ad and design who the audience is, and then maybe they actually do it for them, or maybe maybe not, but often they would in that example. And so their problem might be that sometimes they go out and they promote what they're doing, and then they get so much business that they spend all their time working on Facebook ads for clients, and they don't have time to promote anymore. And so then at the end of that period, they don't have clients again, and they have to go out and promote. And so they it's hard for them to maintain the marketing while they're delivering, and so they don't always have enough clients. And some people just don't have enough clients in general. They're struggling to get enough clients. There's certainly a lot of coaches experience this, and a lot of consultants too. I'm trying to think of people like financial advisors might also. Healthcare practitioners don't seem to have that problem. There are always people who have health problems, I guess. But at any rate, it can be a problem of not having enough, or having this roller coaster kind of thing. If sometimes you have a lot, and maybe you go to a networking event, whether it's live or virtual, and then you come back with a whole bunch of leads and you follow up and you get some clients, but then they kind of peter out after a while. And this is especially true if your service is not eternal, and most usually it isn't. So even if you have a coaching practice package for 6 months, at the end of that 6 months, not everyone's going to renew, and so you might have to find more clients. So this is a typical problem for people who offer a service, is maintaining an ongoing supply of new clients. And of course, there are many ways to get what we call leads or prospects, different words that are used, but just potential clients to me is the best word to use. You can advertise, you can get them from referrals, you can go to networking events, you can you can use social media and post on social media, and lots of other things. So those are ways that you get clients. The problem is that it's hard to keep these up. And so that's one of the reasons, as I was mentioning, while you're busy helping clients, it's hard to do all these other things unless you have somebody to outsource it to, which is actually a really good idea, is to be able to. Because what you're good at is providing the service, not necessarily the marketing. And so it's really good to have systems that have procedures and that you can outsource the marketing to. And that's definitely one solution to getting rid of this kind of cycle. And also, I would say it's a solution to your for your sanity, to feel like you have to be marketing your business as opposed to providing services to people, which is what you know and hopefully love to do. So that's one thing. But there is another way of marketing your services that I wanted to bring up today that you can, and again, you're always going to have to promote this. And I do recommend outsourcing it or automating it to some extent. But that is to have some kind of bridge between people just meeting you and then people hiring you. Because one of the problems is that, especially if you have higher priced services like a coach or a consultant or a healthcare practitioner, all of these can be fairly high priced. Uh, and it's hard for people, unless they got a really good recommendation from an existing client, for them to just come to your website or see something you post on social media or see an ad, certainly, and then just decide to buy from you. That just typically doesn't happen right away. And so you probably know that you should grow a list of subscribers by offering something for free. We call this your freebie, your lead generator is sometimes called your free offer, whatever. And this is typically, especially to people who are what we call cold leads, people who don't know who you are, they don't come from a referral. And so you offer them something for free, and it's free. So, but it solves a problem that they have, or it has something about a problem that they have. And this is actually not a service, but it's a product. It's a free product, but it's a product. It's a thing as opposed to a service. And you sign people up. And there's so many advantages to this, but one of them is that when people go through that freebie, let's just say it could be a video, but just say it's a PDF, some kind of document. They get to know you so that they're not cold anymore. They're not coming at you from not knowing who you are. After that, they have an idea of what you know, and you've helped them with whatever information it was in the freebie. And so by helping them, you can uh, get that connection with them. They get to know you. They get to maybe like you a little bit. There's a whole thing about know, like, and trust. But there's another fourth thing besides that know, like, and trust, and that is they get to respect you, or they get to believe that you have the expertise that they need to help solve their problem. So whether you're a financial analyst and they're having problems, where to invest money, or maybe you're a chiropractor and they having back problems, or maybe you're a coach and a life coach and they're having some problem with their life in general, whatever it is, that you focus on, or you're some type of consultant, whatever it is, they're having a problem. And by reading through this free offer, which is a product, they get to know you. But there's something more that happens with that, and that is they get on your list. And if you're regular at emailing them, over time they get to trust you, and that trust is really, really important, because you're consistent. And so a freebie, you might have an upsell at the end of the freebie, you should, but most people don't buy again then because they're still too cold. They're just like lukewarm. And so the next step is to offer them a product that they're going to pay for. So they've gone through the free offer, and then at the end of the free offer and in the autoresponders, you offer them something that's not very expensive. And it could be anything from $1 to maybe $97, something like that. And it's something that goes more in detail, gives them more information in detail that helps them solve their problem, something a little bit more substantial, goes deeper into it. And this is very valuable because then people, first of all, have already taken the plunge and bought something from you. So they're now customers of yours because they bought a product. And from there, it's much, much easier to upsell them to your service. There's a bridge between between your cold leads, people who don't know you at all, and your higher priced service. that you have that free offer, but then you have some kind of other product and it's a bridge. And from there, they go, yes, I really want more of that. And at the end of that product, you can say to them either like at the end of a document or in the autoresponders or just in ongoing emails, you can say, you've um, read this and you got some value out of it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could work with me one on one or something like that? And we could really go deep and solve your problem once and for all, something like that. So, this is what I would call a hybrid model in terms of services and products because it takes a service based business and it adds products to it. The thing about the products is that they bring in some income too, right? Once you go past the freebie and people buy that product. And so they actually bring you in some income going along that's stable and fairly passive. You're not promoting that product directly. You're not spending a lot of time marketing that product. You will promote your free offer, then you upsell to that product. And so that should happen fairly automatically. It should be at the end of the freebie. It should be in your autoresponders. All of that is automated. So all you really have to do is start that process of promoting your free offer. Now, that doesn't mean you completely get rid of, you still want referrals from people directly to your services. You still want that. But this is just another way of bringing people into your business that's a little bit more automated and simpler. So let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to see any questions that you have on this whole concept. It's not that it's completely new, but I think for many service providers, they just don't think in these terms because they think what they offer is a service, and that's what they do. So you can take, and a great way of doing this, by the way, is to break down the questions that your past clients have asked. So, for example, if you're a financial advisor, how can I save money on taxes? So you could have a course that a product that a free offer too, but let's say this product that people pay for that helps them go through some of their items and then helps them save taxes. And what's so cool about this is that your best clients are going to read this and are going to say, you know what, I really got some value out of this, but it's just too much work. I'd really like to have somebody else do this for me. But now I know he or she knows, what he or she is talking about. And so you don't have to be afraid that you don't want to give too much away, but you don't want to be afraid that you're going to lose clients because you're giving away that information. It just is a way to introduce people to you. It's somewhat similar to writing a book. I have there's this colleague of mine, his name is Jason Fladlien, and he's very, very successful. And he, in one of the books that I wrote, this book for authors here, this book with Connie Reagan Green, and Connie knows him too. Anyway, I interviewed him, and he used to give these workshops, 3-day workshops, 5-day workshops, and he would charge $5,000 for them. People would come because he's very knowledgeable and he's very good at what he does. And then he wrote a book. It was called One to Many, and it was about using webinars to sell. And the book, I don't know, was $20, $30 or something like that. And his target market was millionaires, he told me. But the point was, he said that really everything he covers in that $5,000 seminar or conference, whatever he called it, was in the book. But people who were in his target market just needed to know that he really understood this stuff. And then they wanted to come to him for a service anyway, for consulting anyway. So that he said you just didn't have to feel worry that you were giving away a $5,000 amount of knowledge for $30 because it attracted the right kind of clients for him. So I just wanted you to understand that as well. If you're doing something very technical, like for example, I do PowerPoint training. And if I wanted to provide a service, which I don't, but of, creating videos from PowerPoint, and I gave people something that was the exact steps to do, that, because once they have the specific steps, they can do a lot of it themselves. They might want somebody to design it better, or something like that. But just the steps I might lose a lot of people, because it's something very detailed and specific, and the steps make it easy. But when it's a kind of consulting, like, you're a financial analyst, or certainly like a chiropractor or a coach or a consultant, whatever it is, where your judgment and your experience is so much a part of it, then giving away specific pieces of knowledge is usually not a problem. So just wanted to make that clear as well. So I'll be interested to hear what your questions are. If you're listening to the recording of this, leave them in the comments about how you could add a product, or what kind of product you could add to your service-based business. Okay. Take care, everybody. I don't see any questions yet, so I'll go now. Okay. Bye-bye.